Master of Sass, 2 elements. Nia had noticed that Irene had been acting strange the past few days. She'd do a small task, then stop suddenly, looking puzzled. Then she'd go back to whatever she was doing. Irene, are you okay? Nia asked. Yeah, no, I'm fine, Irene stammered. Nice try. We've been friends since we were little kids. I know you all too well. You've been acting funny recently. Now, what's going on? Nia asked. Irene sighed. I didn't want to say anything. We've all been through too much, and I didn't want to make you worry, she admitted, looking down. Irene, you're making me worry by not saying anything. Talk to me, Nia pleaded, grabbing her shoulders. Well, you remember when we did that obstacle course the other day? Irene asked. Nia nodded. You ran the course perfectly. I don't have any memory of doing that. And I've been suffering other gaps in my memory, Irene admitted. I've managed to figure out what I was doing each time, but it's beginning to happen more and more. It's probably because I'm not sleeping well. Irene, none of us have been sleeping well. It's okay, Nia said. No, it's not. It's the reason that I'm having trouble sleeping that will worry you, Irene said. I've been having the strangest dreams. Not too often, but they're scary. It's okay. I know that Lloyd and Cole have been having nightmares too. Did you talk to Sensei Wu at least? Nia asked. Yeah, I did, Irene said. He might have said to talk to the rest of you. Nia laughed. Well, duh. It's okay. You don't have to say anything yet. But here's what we'll do. We're going to have a girls' night, just you and me, and we'll have a sleepover in my room. Okay? She said. Irene nodded, a tiny smile on her lips. Okay, she agreed. That evening, the girls piled several blankets and pillows on the floor of Nia's room. All right, I've got everything we need. Snacks, some hot chocolate, and my laptop for watching the sappiest rom-coms we can find, Nia said. Thanks for this, Nia. I feel a lot better already, Irene said, flopping down onto the pillows. Thank me in the morning. For now, we watch the movie and make fun of every scene while eating popcorn, Nia replied, passing her a mug of hot chocolate. They thoroughly enjoyed themselves, laughing at the movie and throwing popcorn at each other. It eventually turned into a pillow fight, the girls giggling uncontrollably as they whacked each other with the pillows. Kai came in at one point, asking them to keep the noise down so the guys could sleep. Nia and Irene agreed, giggling softly as Kai closed the door. They eventually fell asleep, curled up in the nest of blankets they'd made on the floor. Irene was back in the woods again. Oh, come on! Which of you is it this time? She yelled. Come out where I can see you. Both Ender and Selwyn stepped out of the shadows, looking sheepish. Hey, I thought you weren't going to speak to her anymore, Selwyn said to Ender. You said the same thing, Sel. Now I'm disappointed in both of us, Ender replied. Real funny, you two, Irene said, crossing her arms. I want to know what's going on, every detail. Interpret that stupidly cryptic prophecy and explain everything. The two boys shared a look. We can't tell you everything yet. You know that. But it's almost time, so we'll give you a few bits of information, Ender said. We can't meet in person, but we'll send messengers. Selwyn punched his arm. That's against the rules. You're not supposed to tell her anything until the messengers get there, he scolded. Oh, shove off. She'll end up getting herself killed if she starts chasing down answers. And giving her a few bits here and there will keep her happy, Ender replied. Happy? You think I'm happy? Are you crazy? I have to know what I'm getting into before I make any moves, Irene said. She reached up and grabbed them both by their collars. Explain everything. Now. Selwyn gently pried her hands off his shirt. Soon, I promise, he said. If you're going to be like that, at least explain my powers. Is it 2 elements, or is it 2 parts of 1 element? Irene asked. Ender sighed. Yes, it is 2 separate elements, but illusion and chaos are very similar, he said. How? Irene asked. You are indeed descended from the first master of illusion, but there was no master of chaos before you. You're the first one, Selwyn said, or you will be. Will be? What does that mean? Irene demanded. You feel that power, don't you? Ender asked. Irene nodded. Well, it's not quite a part of you yet. It's a primal power from before time had a name. It's still bonding with you. What, like some kind of symbiote? It's alive? How did it get there? Irene wondered. It is alive in a sense. I don't know how it found you, but it had to have been something big that caught its attention, Selwyn revealed. Irene turned around. There was that cabin again. I need time to process this. Leave me alone. She opened the door and walked into the cabin. A muffled thump woke Lloyd up. The others were still asleep. They hadn't heard anything. What was that? Lloyd wondered. He quietly got up and walked to the door, peeking into the hallway. He saw Irene picking herself up off the floor and walking away. Irene, did you trip on something? Lloyd whispered. Irene didn't answer. Lloyd followed her. Irene, what are you doing? It's the middle of the night, he said. She didn't respond, walking up to the deck and climbing up on the railing. Irene, what are you doing? Are you crazy? He called as she stood up, wobbling a little as she tried to keep her balance. We're hundreds of miles up, he hissed, reaching out to grab her as she stepped off the railing. He caught her wrist as she fell, causing her to swing back and hit the side of the ship. Ow! She cried, rubbing the back of her head. What in the world? Lloyd pulled her back onto the deck. Why did you do that? He asked. Irene stared at him, wide-eyed. What did I do? She asked. Try to jump off the ship, that's what, Lloyd replied. She started to cry. I must have been sleepwalking again. But the dream was so real, she whimpered. Lloyd pulled her into a hug. What do you mean sleepwalking again? He asked. Irene took a deep breath. Can I explain it all in the morning? Everyone needs to hear it, and I don't want to have to say it too many times, she said. Yeah, okay. Back to bed, Lloyd said. The next morning over breakfast, Irene announced, I need to tell you all something. Go for it, little sister, Cole said. Irene took a deep breath. I've been sleepwalking at night sometimes and having little gaps in my memory because I've been having the weirdest dreams, she blurted out. What kind of dreams? Zane asked. Visions, more like. 3 of them so far, Irene replied. The first one, I dreamed I was in a cave, and Ender came out of the shadows to talk to me. He said some things, very mysterious and all, and then suddenly I found myself in the woods, and there's this abandoned cabin in front of me. I go in, and I find myself back on the bounty. Everything's the same as it was when we fell asleep. This was during our movie night, so everyone's on the couch. I don't know why, but I walked up to the deck looking up at the stars. I wake up standing on the railing, and I lose my balance and fall on the deck. It was weird, but I just went back to the couch. Took too long to fall asleep again. That's really weird, Jay said. It gets weirder, Irene told him. The first memory gap was when I made us all run the obstacle course. Kept happening over the next few days, probably a result of me not sleeping well. But the second dream, I was back in the woods, but it was Selwyn this time. A little less cryptic, but still won't tell me much. He left, then I turned around and there was that cabin again. I walked in and I was back on the ship. So I walked into the kitchen and guess where I woke up? The kitchen, Kai said. Uh-huh. I made up my mind to talk to Sensei Wu in the morning and went back to bed. Sensei's advice was to talk to you guys, but I didn't want to do that yet because we're all still getting over that whole disaster with Moro and the Preeminent, Irene answered. She poked at her food. And then the third dream happened last night. I was back in the forest, but this time both Ender and Selwyn are there. They argued over whether to tell me anything or wait, and they let slip that they're sending messengers. I don't know what they mean by that. They're sending someone or something to give you a message, Jay said with a straight face. Don't interrupt. I made them explain something about my powers, and it was so shocking I had to leave. I turned, and there's the cabin again, and I went through the door. Guess where I ended up, Irene said. The bounty? Lloyd guessed. Surprisingly, not this time. I was in the cave, Irene replied. But it was different this time. You know, the way your mind warps your surroundings in a dream? I actually acknowledged that I was dreaming, and I tried to wake myself up by climbing up to a very tall ledge and jumping off. I got woken up last night because Irene tripped in the hallway and fell, Lloyd said. I followed her down the hall and up to the deck, and I barely managed to catch her in time before she jumped off the railing. She woke up when she hit the side of the ship. That's just scary, Nia said. What did Ender and Selwyn tell you that shocked you so much? So, I have 2 elements, illusion and chaos. Ender said they were pretty similar, but still separate, Irene began. Selwyn said that I am indeed descended from the first master of illusion, but I'm the first master of chaos, or will be. His words, not mine.
What did he mean, will be? Zane asked.
Ender said that it wasn't quite a part of me yet, that it was still bonding with me, Irene said.
Like some kind of symbiote?
Cole asked. That's what I said. Then Selwyn said that it was alive, in a sense, and that he didn't know how it found me, but I must have done something big to get its attention,
Irene said, brushing a strand of hair out of her eyes. Perhaps when you unlocked your true potential, Zane mused. That was big.
Jay nodded. It was pretty cool, he recalled. Anyways, what happened after? That's when I left. What am I supposed to do now?
Irene asked. Let's take another look at that prophecy. Maybe we can figure out what it means. Irene, write down everything those two ever said to you as best as you can remember, and we'll figure it out, Kai said.
Irene got up and went to her room to grab the scroll. They all gathered around it. Obviously, the Herald of Light and Harbinger of Shadow are Ender and Selwyn, and they're both trying to get Irene to pick their side, Jay said. Not all light is good, not all darkness is evil, Nia read. People tend to associate light with goodness and dark with evil. Perhaps it's flipped around here?
Irene, how are those notes coming? Lloyd asked.
They're coming, Irene replied. I also have to categorize them so we can make sense of it all. She stuck several sticky notes on the wall. Here's what I know about Ender and Selwyn so far. They're both immortals of some kind. They're both not supposed to be communicating with me, and they do so via some mental connection, not unlike the one I share with you guys, but it's more complex. They can appear in my dreams, whereas I can only sense your emotions and vague surface thoughts. Okay, what do we know about Ender? Got any sticky notes for him? Jay asked. Irene put up a few more sticky notes. From what I can tell, Ender is the Harbinger of Shadow, though he's never actually said or done anything to confirm this. He made contact with me first, back on Chen's island. He used Chen's staff to take away my powers of illusion, leaving chaos intact but inaccessible. He said that if he let Chen do that, he'd remove both elements and possibly kill me. He's given me a bit more information than Selwyn has, though it's not much. He's mentioned that he wishes it was anyone but me, that I shouldn't have to do this. She frowned. It's like this is personal for him. What about Selwyn? Nia asked. Irene put up the rest of the sticky notes. I can only assume that Selwyn is the Herald of Light, though he's never given any indication that's the case. He's more cryptic than Ender, and I first spoke to him face-to-face in Cloud Kingdom. From what I can tell, he's not happy with Ender for breaking whatever rules they have about talking to me, she said.
He seems to be the more professional one, Zane observed, and Ender seems to be against the whole thing. Are they in any historical records? Cole asked. My mom's been keeping an eye out for any mention of them, but she hasn't found anything yet, Lloyd said. Irene sighed, putting her head down on the table.
This is all so much. I don't know if I can handle it, she mumbled.
Nia patted her shoulder.
You'll be okay. We'll get through this together, she assured. I hope so, Irene said, lifting her head.
Irene was sitting on the couch, curled up in a blanket.
You're not getting sick, are you? Jay asked, walking past. Not sick. Just kind of sad, but also anxious at the same time. I need to do something, but I don't know what to do, she said. It feels good sitting here in the blanket. Cozy. I'll be right back, Jay said, leaving the room. He returned shortly with 2 bowls of ice cream and handed one to Irene. Thanks, Jay, she said. You just sit there on the couch and eat your ice cream. I'm going to play video games, Jay said. You don't have to do anything right now. Just exist. He turned on the game console. Irene just watched him play. Instead of worrying about Ender and Selwyn, she focused on watching the game. It was soothing in a way. Lloyd and Cole eventually came and joined in, briefly acknowledging Irene's presence before letting her be. Zane and Kai came in a few minutes later, picking up a couple of controllers to play. Nia came and sat on the couch beside Irene, and the two of them cheered the boys on. Irene wished this moment could last forever.